Today, we're going to be attempting to win the Champions League, but there's a twist. To win games, I'm only going to be allowed to score a long shot, which means I have to score from outside the box. And also, I'm not going to be able to pick my team. This spin wheel will decide what team we have to use in the Champions League. And the team we're going to have to use is... This isn't going to be easy. Union Berlin. Union Berlin have qualified for the Champions League after finishing in the top 4 in the Bundesliga. And as you can see, our group is not looking easy either. But currently, here is Union Berlin's squad. And this is going to be very, very difficult. Look at most of these players' long shots. 71, 61, 67. There's not much hope for us, is there? And I've also just realised we've not got one player over the rating of 77. And just to make it clear as well, the Champions League will be one leg ties. So it will mean 3 group games and then a straight knockout if we can make it out the group. And in our first game, we're going to be playing against Royal Antwerp, where we know we have to win this game, as our next 2 games after this are against Porto and Atletico Madrid. Obviously, winning the Champions League with a bunch of 77 rated players isn't going to be easy, but there's a way that we can improve our team. And I'm going to tell you after this game if it happens. Becker, don't go inside the box. Travella. Oh! Alisson Becker's in. Power shot. Oh, what a goal. How about that for a strike? Clearly this Becker geezer's our danger man. Oh, he is as well. Oh, Boris Becker, what a player. Obviously, corners are literally no use to me. Just get Boris on the wall. Not even closing down. That's all right, bruv. Because he'll just go and score again. This guy is unbelievable. And after being 3-0 up, things got even better. Oh, my goodness. Game, set, match. But the game would end 4-0 and we would win our first Champions League game, knowing that we just need 1 win from 2 games versus Porto or Atletico to make it through to the next round. Every time that we beat our opponent, we get to take one of their players of choice. And as you can see from their starting lineup, the only player I'd probably want is Toby Alderweireld. That'd be a big upgrade on the team that we already have right now. Toby Alderweireld, welcome to Union Berlin. And after game week 1, we are top of the league. A win today against this great Atletico team with players like Griezmann, Carrasco, Oblak, means we would advance in to the knockout stages. Time and space, just not really happening, is it? I think the problem is we're actually playing against a proper goalkeeper this game. We couldn't hit a barn door with our long shots, but then Morata's big toe produced a bit of magic. Just clear your lines. Just clear your lines, geezer. Even though Atletico Madrid took the lead, we nearly made them pay from kickoff. Oh my God, I think the beans on toast. With Simeone bringing on more defenders, we was going to need something special to beat this defence. Becker! What a goal, what a finish that is. Oh, park your bus now, Simeone. A 1-1 draw isn't the end of the world, obviously. It gives us 4 points from 2 games. But also, because we drew, it means we do not get to steal any players from our opponents. So it was down to the last group game, knowing that as long as we avoid defeat to Porto, that we would be advancing into the Champions League knockouts. But if we lose and Atletico Madrid win, then it would be the end of our journey already, with everything to play for on the final match day. And in a must-not-lose game, we almost had the perfect start. Oh my God. We was the much better team throughout the whole game, but then Porto would get their chance. With Porto missing their best chance of the game, could we recreate the Watford v Leicester moment? Oh my God. This game hates me. Although we will progress into the knockout stages of the Champions League. So we done it. We'd made it through the group stage and we were now into the knockout stages of the Champions League. But there is a big problem. Our first round of 16 game is against Manchester City, last season's Champions League winners. We was coming up against some of the best players in the world like Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Pep Guardiola as the coach. We would need an absolute miracle to beat this team and continue our journey into winning the Champions League. As you could tell already, City were just dominating the ball and almost took the lead. Ref, no way. No way. Clearly he was offside, geez. City continued to dominate the ball, but just before half-time, we would have a chance. Becker! Oh! We got City on another counter-attack, and it was going to take something special to beat Ederson in this Manchester City goal. Trimmel! Boom! My strikers may not be able to score, but my right-back definitely can. We'd played more stoppage time than we was meant to in the game. Then the referee gave a soft free kick to Haaland. He barely even touched him, ref. We can clear this ball. We are through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But we had done the unthinkable. We had went and beat Manchester City in the round of 16 to advance into the quarterfinals. And of course, we can take any one of Manchester City's players And whereas my team needs a lot of improving, obviously, I'm going to be so honest with you, I really want to take Haaland, but something in my head's telling me I should take De Bruyne. I mean, De Bruyne is so good at football that we actually forget that he's actually ginger. It was a very tough decision, but I went and signed Kevin De Bruyne. We are now into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and we'll be coming up against Ajax, a favourable tie for Union Berlin.
Even though we was favourites to win the game, Ajax show us why we shouldn't underestimate them.
What a save.
At the other end, De Bruyne was showing everyone why he is the ginger Messi.
Kevin, he don't need no help. Oh, wow.
De Bruyne couldn't score in a brothel, so he gave the ball to our star man.
Oh my goodness. What a way to end the half.
Into the second half, and it was the almost perfect start from Boris.
Straight from kickoff. Boris.
With just under an hour played, we finally see some magic from our ginger maestro.
Kevin De Bruyne. Was he ever going to miss that? The 2 goals, look at that. Boris Becker. What's his next prostitution? Burger's coming on.
After all our dominance in the game, disaster would strike as Khedira blew out Burger's back.
Have that. And that as well. No way. No way. That's a red card. Please tell me if you think that is a red card.
We were now down to 10 men, and Ajax was starting to get chances. Luckily, Demba saved us.
Oh, Burger's in the bar. I'm not quite sure why you're making a prostitution with 30 seconds left to go.
And with literally seconds left remaining.
Can we end it with the cherry on top? Of course, we can. Whoa, easy, KDB, easy.
And there goes the full-time whistle as Union Berlin in their first Champions League campaign are into the semi-finals.
There we go, we have made it into the semi-finals of the Champions League, and our next opponent be Barcelona. But before we play our Champions League semi-final against Barcelona, we can take one of our opponent's players. And to be honest with you, there's not too many players I'm probably going to want, but they do have someone who has great long shots and some great skills as well in Dusan Tadic. So we're going to add him into our team. Could we beat the 4 times Champions League winners in Barcelona to reach the final of the Champions League?
This was Union Berlin's biggest game in their history, but they were showing no nerves in the first few minutes.
Oh, and that is why he's the 2nd best midfielder in the world after Bruno.
In big games, you need your biggest players to step up. Up step Ron Weasley.
Away from Alba. Oh, this guy is on another level. Where he rocketed that ball in, he could rocket it in me as well. And we go into the break 1-0 up, knowing that we are 45 minutes away from making a Champions League final for Union Berlin.
And after a slow start to the second half, we got Boris in a great position to score.
Becker's in. Becker is in. Becker disappoints. Here comes the rat, Ousmane Dembele.
Chance after chance was going by for Union Berlin, but could Barca finally take their opportunity?
No, Biscuits.
But it was short-lived as Sergio Busquets would go from hero to 0. And with Busquets sent off for Barcelona, it was only going to get worse for them.
Come on, maybe this time for a hero. There is. And it's our new signing.
But even with 10 men, Barcelona showed why they're one of the best teams in the world.
An unbelievable save at this stage of the game.
But we had done it. We had beaten the mighty Barcelona 2-1, and we are in the Champions League final.
And of course, since we won that game, we get to take a player from Barcelona. And as much as I would like to improve our defence, there's only one man I can take from this. Robert Lewandowski.
So we had made it to the Champions League final, where we would be taking on PSG.
Could Union Berlin do the unthinkable and beat PSG and their great front three of Messi, Neymar and Mbappe?
Union Berlin were in the Champions League final versus PSG, a dream that nobody could believe. And after 6 minutes, they got the perfect start.
Oh, what a start!
After going 1-0 down, Mbappe was doing his best to not bottle another final.
Definitely what we don't want. Oh, what a save.
And after PSG had dominated the first half, up stepped our ginger maestro one last time.
De Bruyne scores off the beans, on toast and in. And there was no way that this non-ginger midfielder was going to let me down.
Into the second half of the Champions League final, and it looked like PSG were about to get one back.
What an unbelievable tackle that is.
And after a slow start from Union Berlin, all I can say is some things don't need commentary.
Seal the deal. And he can. Once again, Dusan Tadic is the man.
And despite being 3-0 up in the final, Mbappe would get a chance. In the 85th minute, it just didn't look like it was going to be PSG's day. But hold on.
We just couldn't keep a clean sheet, could we? The boy, do these lot know the score? He's offside. He's bottled it big time. But it does not matter. We have won the Champions League with Union Berlin from only scoring long shots. Players like Toby Alderweireld, Kevin De Bruyne, Dusan Tadic. But of course, I have to big up most of Union Berlin players because the majority of them were the ones that helped us get out of the group. And now they are the best team in Germany. And if you enjoyed watching me win the Champions League, then you should watch this video right here.